Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! You guys have forever and always wanted to be a part of special conversations having everything to do with Descendants and Zombies that revolve around your favorite characters and all these definitive moments that have made you fans of Descendants and Zombies. So over the years and over time, I wanted to always give something special back to the Descendants and Zombies universe because I've often referred to this as a universe. It is something far much bigger than just a world, which many of your favorite stars has referred to this as been. This is a universe because there are so many fans of Descendants and Zombies who exist in this universe who feel forever passionate about a favorite character they may have, a definitive moment that brought them to the moment where they realized they wanted to be a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and all I've ever wanted to do is be a part of it. And I got a chance to be a part of it because of each and every one of you. You guys were forever acceptant of what I had to say about Descendants of Zombies and how I felt about this product because I had a bigger dream, a much bigger dream for Descendants of Zombies than many critics would have chosen to give it or much of a chance because I really do believe that there is something special existing within this product for its story, its beautiful characters, so much that the characters represented through the years, no matter what character we're talking about, from Mal all the way through to Red, who offered so much different things to Descendants, a very different outlook on life, a very different perspective. She really changed the concept of Descendants for many years to come and made more people fall in love with this franchise than perhaps ever before. I think this new generation prides itself on this new cast and what they proudly represented, and for me, one of my favorite Descendants characters of all time will forever be Ruby Rose Turner's character Bridget for what that character represented and the story she told about how much further kindness can really take a person in this lifetime. I've been someone who's been very honest on this show about how I never seem to see enough kind people in this world. But the quick thing that I realized about the Descendants of Zombies universe were there were far more kinder people found within this niche than ever given credit for. You guys are some of the most respectful people that I've ever had the honor to create content for. And if there was one niche that I could keep on creating content for many years to come, it would have to be you guys. You guys have forever been supportive of me. You believed every word that I've said about Descendants and Zombies and what I thought was going to happen in the way of a prediction or a theory I may have had, character breakdowns and reviews that I offered you guys, because I've gone on to create hundreds, if never thousands, of videos about Descendants and Zombies in every niche that I've ever had the opportunity to commentate on. And I really wish more commentators on YouTube would take the chance to actually go in depth about Descendants and Zombies. Because once you go in depth about Descendants and Zombies, the magical feeling that you will receive from talking about it and knowing that you've touched somebody's heart out there that loves Descendants and Zombies with all of their heart, he or she's heart, is really an unbelievable feeling that I can't even begin to put into words. Descendants and Zombies has really been a life-changing experience for me because I felt as if I was walking through the forests of Oregon for what feels like forever. I feel like I've been a part of the School of Seabrook for forever and been a part of all these characters' lives because I've represented them so phenomenally, because all I ever wanted to come through for being was a voice of Descendants and Zombies, and I had the chance to become just that. For many years I've hosted radio shows and YouTube shows, and I've had so much fun, but I have never remembered having this much fun creating videos for thousands of people who resonate and feel more connected with these characters than perhaps ever before. You know, we spend a lot of time on this show giving praise to Kylie Cantrell, Freya Sky, and Malia Baker ever so often. But I think that there are times when we should be giving you guys the respect and the praise that you have deserved for how you've always been there for your favorite characters. There are so many times that they have never been given credit enough for, where they have felt doubtful of themselves, where they've never felt good enough. And you guys have shined through every single time with an overwhelming amount of love and support for them. You've shown kindness to them. You've helped them make sense of their own lives and what's happening around them and made them into the superstars they are. Descendants and Zombies has always happened because you guys have believed in it. And for the obvious reasons you've felt passionate about it, the colorful characters, the personalities of them, the story behind every character that every character proudly represented and brought to life. Some way or somehow, with no backstory whatsoever, they were able to bring it to life. And that's what made Descendants and Zombies so special for me, because I always had an appreciation for fairy tale characters and their lore. because there's so much of a lore to appreciate with fairy tale characters, regardless of their name: Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. There have been so many celebrated fairy tale characters and their stories through the years, and I felt more than honored to be a part of that. I remember collecting VHS cassette tapes, which made up the Disney Masterpiece Collection. And that was back in the early 1990s when Disney was re-releasing some of their most prized classics, such as Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. And I collected virtually every single one of them. Many of you probably don't know this, but Dumbo was the shortest animated classic that Disney ever produced. It ran for about 67 minutes. That's a little over an hour. But it was one of the most celebrated classics of all time. And just yesterday, we celebrated the 86th anniversary of the Pinocchio Classic, which was another Disney classic that I was a huge fan of because Pinocchio had a dream, and Jiminy Cricket always served as his conscience, but he always showed him the way. Regardless of how many disagreements Pinocchio and Jiminy Cricket were going to have throughout the production, Jiminy Cricket would always serve as his conscience and always shine through by showing Pinocchio the way and the right way to go about things. And I wish more content creators would always take it upon themselves to give you hope, if anything, for a future that has everything to do with Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker because you love them so much. I remember when the 30-second teaser trailer dropped just a couple of days ago. We are just a couple of days removed from the first 30-second trailer that was released for Descendants 5 Book Wonderland. And nobody wanted to take the time to consider just how beautiful people like Kylie and Malia were. But the images that we saw in this 30-second teaser, although it may have never offered us much, the thing that we should take time to appreciate more often is just how incredibly beautiful, fearless, and strong these characters are, because undeniably they are, and they shine through every single time. I, for one, believe that Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker stars are well on their way to shining brighter in whatever constellation they exist in or that we talk about than perhaps ever before, and I'm just so excited to be a part of their futures. While we may never know what the future has in store, and that seems to be the most scariest thing about everybody's future, never knowing what the future has in store, it's going to be a future to be excited about, one that I'm incredibly excited to be a part of, that I had a chance to become a part of many years ago when the first ever trilogy premiered. And the thing about a trilogy that we should never ever forget, even when it seems like the trilogy has reached its dramatic conclusion, no trilogy is over. There's always a chance for a fourth installment, a fifth installment, and to move forward into the future regardless of who's a part of it. Now, preferably moving forward, I wish that Ruby was a part of it because she's one character that I've always believed story was never told and completed. No matter what character we talk about, not just Ruby, every character's story is never told and completed because there's so much of an opportunity to write a new chapter and to experience something new, especially with how much rarity Alice in Wonderland and Cinderella's stories have achieved over the years. They are some of the most recognizable princesses in the history of Disney. Some of them aren't even princesses but should be. And because they're some of the most iconic figures in Disney history, over 100 characters have been created off the success of Disney's original princess lineup, which first premiered back in 1938. Snow White was the first ever classic Disney attempted to write. Then he acquired the rights for Mary Poppins. He eventually acquired the rights for Cinderella and was able to tell his own versions of these stories, many of which began as silent films. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, man, you know everything there is to know about Disney. That's why I'm going to subscribe here to this YouTube channel. Because of you, I know more about Disney than I ever have. Well, if you are somebody who is jumping up and down because you're so excited about things like the premiere of Descendants 5 Book Wonderland, you were so excited about the Descendants Zombies Worlds Collide Tour concert special just last week, which premiered on Disney Channel, then I would love for you to subscribe. Because I think every fan of Descendants and Zombies has something special and unique to offer to this franchise. There are more people out there who believe in this franchise than ever given credit for, and there are more people falling in love with this franchise every day that I can only hope to inspire. Because the purpose of these videos and their goal is to inspire people to be fans of Descendants and Zombies more than ever before, to really give this a chance. Because over the years, we've been a part of a lot of franchises and their premieres. I was a part of the premiere of High School Musical. I believe how they did High School Musical's premiere was they had the first ever premiere of Hannah Montana, the pilot episode of that, followed by the premiere of High School Musical, which happened back on March 24th, 2006, and I never forgot being a part of it. I thought the music was great. The story could have been a little bit more in-depth, but the music was great, and that's what they always had to pride themselves on for its profound success. High School Musical will go on to break and shatter records all over the world and achieve so much recognition. And, I think about, the success of High School Musical nearly 20 years later, 2 decades later, and I think that same success could be being seen for Descendants of Zombies, which is really what we're setting ourselves up for. A possible leg 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour, Descendants 5, Descendants 6, even Descendants 7. The thing that gets me about these reviewers on YouTube are they don't really want to give it much of a chance getting past Zombie 6 or Descendants 6, but I do. I've never wanted to say goodbye to franchises that have seen so much success and held a very valid place in our hearts for what feels like forever. A verified place that will forever and always remain with us. Because Descendants of Zombies is something that we've carried with us for what feels like forever. We've all taken something special away from it no matter who we were, no matter where we came from or whatever was happening around us. Descendants of Zombies helped us make sense of everything happening in our lives. And that's what was so special about Descendants of Zombies, was just how much of a special and significant place it held in our hearts for many years to come, just as some of the most successful franchises of all time, regardless if they were Hannah Montana, High School Musical, Wizards, Phineas and Ferb, Tangled, Frozen. We've celebrated these franchises for forever, and we've really felt connected to their music, to the character stories, and the beautiful bond of friendships between Elsa and Anna, Troy Bolton and Gabriela Montez. Of course, the story between Rudd and Chloe, which eventually became something far more powerful than we ever gave it credit for. Because the one thing that stands out to me about the Descendants franchise is just how incredibly supportive Rudd and Chloe are of their friendship, and how they've been there for each other every step of the way. Regardless of how much criticism this friendship has received, it's really stood the test of time and really achieved its place in history. And I think that in many years to come, we're still going to be having these conversations about how much Descendants of Zombies will go on to mean to our hearts and how much of a special place it's forever and always held there. I've just felt so honored to be a part of it. And if I was ever going to say anything at all that had anything to do in relation to Descendants of Zombies, it was going to have to be something nice, to make you feel more confident to be a part of this future and to be even more excited about it, because there are so many people out there that are saying this and that about Descendants of Zombies, nothing that's really ever made a whole lot of sense to a whole lot of people. But I've never really bought into what the critics try to sell me all the time. I've never drank the proverbial Kool-Aid. I pretty much believed what I wanted to believe about Descendants of Zombies, and that was it was something special. It had always had something special to offer, just as every other franchise had something special to offer from its generation or its era. And I'm saying this because I had a chance to be a part of every era and every generation of Disney for what felt like forever, and I had the chance not only to be a part of these many generations, I had the chance to meet you. And I had the chance to become friends with you in a very unique way, because I bonded with you guys over Descendants of Zombies and the favorite characters and all these definitive moments that we forever and always carried with us, that forever and always held a very special place in all of our hearts. I will never be able to live long enough to say thank you enough to every fan of Descendants of Zombies, because the one thing you've come to know about me over the years and got to know me for was that I was forever appreciative of every fan who ever loved Descendants of Zombies. There are people introducing themselves to this new franchise and even the original trilogy to this day and becoming more fans of Descendants of Zombies than ever given credit for. And I think that's so special, man, that you're introducing yourself to this franchise and you forever and always wanted to be a part of it, because I've always wanted to be a part of it too. I've always wanted to offer you guys something special in the way of a review that I felt a lot of critics weren't really taking themselves on the opportunity to give you. I wanted to always say something nice. I always wanted to represent hope and a second chance and a hope that a fairy tale could exist for everybody out there, even with how unrealistic some of these fairy tales seem to be. And I know there are a lot of people out there that have felt very differently about Descendants of Zombies, or have been made to feel very different about Descendants of Zombies through the years. But what it comes down to is if you love Descendants of Zombies with all of your heart, you felt forever passionate about it, then you should continue on following your passions. We should all take the chance to be a part of something special and hold on to whatever we believe in for just a little while longer, because what magical is about to happen is something that we are never ever going to forget. It's truly magic that we are setting ourselves up for, to have the chance to be a part of, and I have never felt more excited to have been a part of that with thousands of people. Thank you so much for having chosen this YouTube channel time and time again through the years to have been your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel, because I never imagined this YouTube channel would have become everybody's favorite. And it eventually would go on to become something so special in the hearts of every fan of Descendants of Zombies. You know, I never imagined this YouTube channel would have seen over 1,000 subscribers, but it eventually went from 500 subscribers to 1,000 subscribers overnight. I believe last summer, this YouTube channel saw over 1,000 subscribers in 1 week. That puts us at 250 subscribers a day. And I don't think that any YouTube channel out there that's ever revolved its content around Descendants and Zombies has ever experienced anything quite like this, or ever will have the chance to experience anything as phenomenal as what we did this past summer. The reason for that was for my appreciation of storytelling and how I could tell this story better than anybody could, or far more effectively than anybody ever has. I always saw something special in Red and Chloe's story, and I wanted to represent that, even with how different of characters they were from the original trilogy, because we saw very different characters, and very powerful characters at that, from the original trilogy. Unquestionably, Dove Cameron was the girl that put me where I am today, on top of the Descendants and Zombies universe, as the voice of Descendants and Zombies, which has received so much recognition and rarity for how I felt about Descendants and Zombies. But Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker's contributions to this franchise, even Ruby Rose Turner's contributions, will be contributions that I will forever honor, and that I will always want something to have to do with. Because I think that this new generation of stars are really setting us up to have the chance to be a part of history. And having the chance to experience history is something that we are really going to marvel in, that we are really going to celebrate and forever honor. Because I think that every star, no matter who they were, who had a contribution to make to this franchise, offered us something special. In the way the music was presented, the story was told, we all fell in love with it, and we all took something special away from it. And I had the chance to experience that with every fan of Descendants of Zombies, who each had a different reason as to why they loved the product. From its music, to its fashion sense, to how beautiful the characters were, how they fell in love with the concepts, because how it works is Disney will have a board meeting, and they will come up with a concept, and they will put it in front of us, and they will wait, and they will wait, and they will wait some more, and they will go to catering, and they will wait some more, go back to catering, have 4 or 5 pies, and come back. And when finally somebody responds to it in the way of a comment on social media, which eventually becomes thousands, which eventually becomes thousands of likes, which eventually becomes a teaser trailer, which eventually becomes a movie for Disney Channel and Disney Plus, they keep on creating for it because they want to expand the universe, because there's an extensive library of characters that we have seen already premiere in Descendants, but we still have so many of them who have yet to premiere in Descendants of Zombies, and all they have to be given is a chance. And I think we can give them a chance. I think we can see more of an in-depth story for characters such as Aladdin and Jasmine, who I'm very fond of. I thought the story of Aladdin and Jasmine was very beautifully represented in the original classic from 1992. Linda Larkin and Jason Alexander did a phenomenal job bringing that character to life, along with Robin Williams as the original voice of the genie, before being replaced by Dan Castellano, who a lot of people were a huge fan of, Homer Simpson. And I think since these premieres of these original classics, these characters have gone on to achieve a really special place in our hearts, so much rarity and recognition. So why not have them included as part of the Descendants of Zombies franchises? There will forever be an opportunity to see an expansion for these franchises, and more of a chance to be given to them and shown to them than perhaps ever before. And I'm just so excited to be a part of it. I've never felt more honored to have been a part of this franchise just after 9:01 a.m. in the morning. We have so much further to go with these franchises, and so much to be excited about. And I have never felt more honored to have the chance to be a part of this with each and every one of you, because thousands of people have saw something special in every video that I've ever gone on to create and upload to this YouTube channel, just hoping for the best. Because I don't really put a whole lot of extensive promotion behind every video that I create. I just upload it to this YouTube channel and I go on about my way. And then however many views the video gets, or how many likes, or how many subscribers, I leave it at that, because I leave that decision to subscribe here completely up to you. If you've ever noticed anything about Descendants videos and the creators of them, they will say in the first 30 seconds of every video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because that's all they want from you. I want you to subscribe here to this YouTube channel, not because of me, but because you are a fan of Descendants of Zombies. And I know perhaps there are people out there who just love these videos and love hearing my voice. And I get that, because it's me talking about your favorite stars and your favorite franchises, and I will forever appreciate you guys for being here, for allowing me the chance to have been a part of this, because Jonathan Clarke is forever a part of the Descendants of Zombies franchises in your lives, because you guys have wanted the voice of Descendants of Zombies for far long enough. You've always wanted a podcast host that will come through and have his opinion and his story to share with you guys about how he was a fan of Descendants of Zombies, and tell you funny stories that related to the product more than ever before, which is more than every other creator ever does or contributes to Descendants of Zombies. I have proudly dedicated my life time and time again to creating Descendants of Zombies content for you guys, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Because you guys have deserved the best reviews possible that somebody could give you. Anybody at all could give you. They just don't want to. And I just wanted to be that one guy you could depend on, that you knew you could see a really cool video from, that you would say, that you would go away from saying, hey, this Jonathan Clarke guy is really cool. He's awesome. He has the best Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel ever created. And somebody would eventually subscribe. Thank you so much if you are somebody who has held a special place in your heart for what must feel like forever for this YouTube channel and for me. Because it's been my honor to know you and create the content that you've certainly known, loved, and appreciated through the years. And I've had so much fun. Thank you so much from wherever you hear my voice for watching this video, and thank you so much for believing in this YouTube channel and in me as much as what you have. Because of you, this YouTube channel has surpassed over 100,000 channel views and has seen nearly 4,000 people hit the subscribe button for videos they believe in, videos they love so much with all of their heart. Thank you so much from wherever you hear my voice for watching this video and believing in Descendants of Zombies as much as what you have. Thank you so much for giving Descendants of Zombies a chance and holding a forever special place in your hearts forever and always for your favorite characters and these moments that have made you a fan of Descendants of Zombies. Thank you so much for having watched this video.